Hi everyone, today we want to view one of the actually CCT final game between Magnus Carlsen and your Nepomniachtchi. This is game number one, so we wanna cover all of the games. So be sure that you have sub to the channel and also you follow the contents more eagerly to actually view those games are. So let's jump into the game. Please don't forget actually to give the thumbs up, and actually sub to the channel, and please comment on this video. That would be just very encouraging for me to put more interesting videos on the channel, actually your channel. It is your channel, okay? So let's begin. In this game, this is actually CCT Finals 2024, and Magnus Carlsen is having the white pieces versus Jan Nepomniachtchi the black pieces. So let's naturally jump into the game and see what happens. So here we have d4 from Magnus, and Nepo plays knight to f6. We have c4, so e6. So in this moment, do you play knight c3 and run into the bishop b4, the Nimzo Indian, or we go knight to f3? We will see. Actually, knight f3 happens in this game. After knight f3, d5, knight c3, so putting pressure on this pawn. We have c5, so it's the center attack, and also Nepo has attacked the pawn on d4. So we have c chapters on d5, we have c chapters on d4, and queen takes. Okay, so and now we have this e takes on d5. So in this position, white is slightly better thanks to this pawn, uh, this isolated pawn on d5. This is isolated, so that's the reason actually why white is slightly better, but it's not enough to just win it completely in a aggressive way or just very nice way. So we have bishop to g5, so Magnus pins this knight. We have bishop to e7, so we have the unpin. And now e3. E3 just is the purpose for we just want to undevelop, actually develop our bishop, so we can run this way or this way or this. Okay, so let's see what happens in the game. We have just castles, and now Magnus decides to put his bishop on the e2 square. We have bishop to e2, and now h6. H6 attacks the bishop and asks, what do you want to do? Here Carlsen takes. We have bishop takes on f6, and after bishop takes f6, some actual players may ask, isn't this pawn attacked twice? So I can take it by my queen. But that's a very bad and actual blunder. It's a blunder because your knight, which defends the queen, goes with the check if black just takes. Okay, so after this, we have this check takes, and now we can just take the queen. And this is just lost. So, of course, Magnus doesn't fall for this series. Okay, so we have queen to d2. Queen d3 was also possible, but I love queen to d2 much because we just actually prevent any bishop to d3. Maybe we want that later, but queen to d2, we have bishop to e6, so we are just Nepo just strengthens this pawn here, and we are just castle. And after queen to d7, queen d7 is just a move that wants to prepare knight to c6 and rook double. I think just rook here or rook here. Okay, so we have rook f to d1 putting more pressure on this pawn, and we have rook f to d8 defending this pawn once more. And after knight to d4, so you may just ask yourself, what is the purpose of this knight to d4? The purpose is that black has bishop pair, okay? So we wanna take one of them out. So after knight to c6, we have knight takes on e6, we have f takes on e6, not the queen, because as I just said, this pawn is isolated and we want to support it by another pawn, which is f. So f takes on e6 is the best move. Here you can't actually play this because white just takes it immediately. Okay, so we have f takes on e6. We have now knight to e4. So knight to e4 you can't take because of this. Okay, and you're losing exchange this way. So let's just show you, it's just meaning for white. Okay, uh, we have queen to e7, so on. Queen. Now the threat is we want just take it. So we have knight chapters on f6, queen chapters on f6, and rook a to c1, rook a to c8, and h3. So what is the purpose of h3? Is we want to make our king a little space, so there wouldn't be any back rank threat anymore. Okay, issue the background issues anymore. So after the move a6, we got b4. Or Magnus, we have knight coming to e4, knight coming to e5, and maybe later on Nepo wants to play b5 himself. Okay, let's go. Queen to d4 is played, and we have knight coming back to d7, opening queen exchange this way. Okay, and if you take immediately, Jan just captures with the knight on f6 and is having nice position, and actually the position is equal in this case. So we have bishop to g4, and it's just a threat. It just makes a threat. Okay, if you, for example, play this very idiot move, then you run into this takes and takes and takes and not takes this way, but you lose your knight and the game anyway. So that was a threat. Okay. So Nepo just decided to go knight to e5, nice move. So queen exchanges will not be possible. So I will be able to take on e6 with check and take on d7, which actually was the knight. Okay, we have bishop to e2 coming back and knight to d7 anyway, and after queen to d2 we have again knight to e5, and now Magnus played b5. And after takes takes, and we have knight jump to c4, we have bishop captures on c4, and the pawn. And you couldn't take with this notice, because after rook takes rook, pawn takes, then you will lose your rook, and white is a rook in this position. Okay, so you should take with the pawn, and now we have this nice move. Rook takes on c4 from Magnus, and here Jan just somehow panic, because after here you can play this, and after king2, sorry, h7 is best move, because king f7 has this issue of this check, and I just take another pawn. Okay, and after king to h7, rook to d6, the position is still equal, but you need actually more force than white to just be able to draw this. So actually here black has a very nice and cunning move in this position. He has queen takes on f2. So what happens after this is if you take this way, rook takes d1 and after king to h2, we just take the another rook, and even white should just try a little more to actually draw this, okay? But if you take with the king, which is actually the best move in this position, rook takes d2, rook takes d2, rook takes c4, the position is equal, guys, for this. And okay, but in this position, Jan decided to play rook a8. Actually, it's the second best move. It gives Magnus a little advantage. We have rook to a4, nice. Another cunning, nice moves. We have rook takes on a4, queen takes on d8, queen takes on d8, rook takes on d8. We have king to f7, and rook coming to d7 check. And here we Magnus grabs the pawn on b7 here. We have rook takes on b2, and after rook to b5, so Magnus is just wants to actually just restrict the king here, okay? We have rook to b5, now pawn to g5, g4, rook a1, check, king g2, rook a2, and here Magnus plays the nice common move h4. Here he wants to actually weaken this structure by giving up this pawn temporarily by playing pawn to h4. So Jan takes, we have Jan rook to h5 attacking these pawns. We have king coming to g6, so defends this pawn, and we have rook takes on the h4 pawn, and we have rook to a4, so it's kind of pinning this pawn this way. We have king to g3, so it's defending the rook, so maybe we can later push this pawn. And we have rook to b4, rook to a5, rook to h5, rook to a4 again. We have rook to b5, and king to f6, f4, and rook to h6. And here already white has an advantage, and actually he should try his best actually for maybe to draw this against Magnus, which is actually kind of impossible. So rook to the c6 and rook to h5 and king to 6, and we have king to e4, we have rook to c3 and rook to a5, king to f6, we have rook to a6, so the threat is just simple f5, so this pawn is pinned and will be gone. So that's why the Nepo just gives a check on c4. We have king to f3, king coming to f7, and now we have this pawn push f5. So it takes, then we take, and we get two connected passes, plus this pawn is under the attack. Okay, so Nepo doesn't play that and plays the move h5. Here we have f takes on a6, we have king to e7, and now grabs the pawn on h5. We have rook coming to h4, attacking this pawn. We have rook coming to a5, defending this pawn, and we have king to e6. After the move e4, rook check on h3, we have king to d4, rook coming to e3, king to f4, rook coming to h3 again. We have this check from the rook on a6, rook h6 check, king to e7. We have pawn push, so Magnus is actually improving his position slightly and nicely, slowly. We have king to f7, e5, rook coming to h5, so it just tries to restrict the king this way, but this is a lost position and plays the another nice move, h7. Notice that the king and the rook, which would actually, it's not able, actually Nepo is not able to take this because of this move, and we just take and we just promote this pawn. Okay, so if you take, let me show you, it's just this. and we now can actually go here, and this is just lost position for black. So that's why Nepomniachtchi couldn't take this pawn and play king to d7. We have a rook check on h7. It was better actually to go e6. Okay, just to secure Nepo in a much faster way. We have rook h7 check anyway. We have king to g6, and now we have raised the pawn push to e6. We have king to f6, and now we have pawn push from the Magnus e7, and check we have a not hits, and now Magnus is able to promote the pawn to the queen, but he will lose his rook, which actually worse, okay? And we have check on c6, and now Magnus is trying to just win king pros, queen versus king pros endgame. And unfortunately for Nepo, this position is completely lost because he just puts Nepo in a Zugzwang position. Zugzwang is a position that your opponent wants not to move. Actually, it's kind of out of move. Okay, so if you don't know Zugzwang, you can search in the Google. Yeah, queen b3 and check, and here, and after some moves, and this was the last move of the game, and in this position Nepo decided to resign because this position is lost. Notice that if you press this, you shouldn't take with the queen, you should take with the king. After here you just have this mate here. Okay, hope you enjoyed this, and please give the thumbs up, like this video, and please also make sure that you have subbed to the channel, and please also comment on this video if there was any defects, any problems. Okay, please comment those, and I will try to fix them immediately ASAP as soon as possible if I can. So that would be very nice just for this time. Okay, so hope you enjoyed it. This is the game number 1. We will cover the actually final games and later games soon. Be sure, and hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.